जय राधा माधव कुंज विहारी जय राधा माधव जय गोपीजनवृंदा गिरिराधारी जय गोपीजनवृंदा Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Jai Radha Gopi Ganavallabha Radha Gopi Ganavallabha Jaya Nitai Bhaktita Pavana Gauri Jaya Nitai Bhaktita Pavana Gauri And the motivation of the day. अब तो लाइव चालू नहीं किया ना तब ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत् नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवयात् भगवती उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्ठिकी कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नन्दनाय च Nandagopakumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha. Hare Krishna, reading from Srimad Bhagavatam. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 4, Chapter 12, text number 33. Iti vyavasitam tasya Iti vyavasitam tasya vyavashaya surottamo Vyavasaya surottamo darshayan darshayam as asatu devim darshayam asatu devim uru 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 yanena gacchati uru yanena gacchati iti vyavasitam tasya vyavasaya surottamo darshayam asatu devim guru yanena gacchati iti vyavasitam tasya vyavasaya surottamo darshayamasa devim guru yanena gacchati iti thus vyavasitam contemplation tasya abdhva vyavasaya understanding surottamo the two chief associates darshayam asutu showed to him devim exalted Suniti pura before yanena by aeroplane gacchatim going forward. Translation and purport by Sundari Sri Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada ki jai. The great associates of Vaikuntha Loka, Narada and Nanda and Sunanda could understand the mind of Dhruva Maharaj, and thus they showed him that his mother Suniti was going forward in another aeroplane. Purport. This incident proves that Shiksha or Diksha Guru, who has a disciple who strongly executes devotion service, like Dhruva Maharaj, can be carried by the disciple even though the instructor is not as advanced. Although Suniti was an instructor to Dhruva Maharaj, she could not go to forest because she was a woman, nor could she execute austerities and penances as Dhruva Maharaj did. Still, Dhruva Maharaj was able to take his mother with him. Similarly, Prahlad Maharaj also delivered his atheistic father, Hiranyakashipu. The conclusion is that a disciple or an offspring who is a very strong devotee can carry with him to Vaikuntha either his father, mother, or Shiksha or Diksha Guru. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur used to say, if I could perfectly deliver even one soul back to Godhead, back home, back to Godhead, I would think my mission of propagating Krishna consciousness to be successful. The Krishna consciousness movement is spreading now all over the world. And sometimes I think that even though I am crippled in many ways, if one of my disciples become as strong as Dhruva Maharaj, then he will be able to carry me to Vaikuntha Loka. ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम् वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरोन् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातां सागना रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवम् साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनासहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सगना ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितंश्च हे कृष्णकरुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कान्ता राधाकान्ता नमोऽस्तुते तप्तकाञ्चन गौरङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे मुखं करोति वाचालं भंगं लंगायते गिरिं यत्कृपातं हे श्री गुरु अंजनतारणं परमानंद माधवं श्री चैतन्य ईश्वरम् Hare Krishna. Welcome everybody for today's discussion on Srimad Bhagavatam. So, if we revisit the context of these words, it is like Dhruva Maharaj, after executing his devotional service in this material world, he perfected his life. He ruled for 37 years, and then uh, he, he later in his life he actually retired and went to Badrikashram and performed severe tapasya, and again now going back to Godhead. So Dhruva Maharaj, to receive Dhruva Maharaj, the two chief associates of Vishnu, Nanda and Sunanda, they came to receive him, and they are taking him in aeroplane to Vaikuntha Loka. So at that point of time, Dhruva Maharaj remembered his mother, Prabhupada's poor mother. So she was a queen, but when why Prabhupada mentioned poor mother is because of, she was not able to do as much uh, austerities as Dhruva Maharaj did. So of course now in the Satya Yuga it was performing Ashtanga Yoga is the bona fide spiritual process, but the Bhakti Yoga was equally potent and powerful in any age. Just by performing bhakti, one can perfect their life. So it is said that uh, somebody who actually does karma yoga especially, they may, if they don't have proper attitude, they may end up in some of the sargalokas. And the Jnana Yogi may attain impersonal liberation. And Ashtanga Yogi may go to his desired planet, starting from Sargaloka to any other loka, based on which he meditates on his samadhi. But Bhakti Yogi, he will be promoted to back to spiritual world. So that was stated. Okay, that was generally the end of there. So because for a karma yogi, tendency to enjoy the fruits of his actions automatically comes within his mind, because it is very difficult for a person who is executing karma to be always detached and work for the results without having any motivation to enjoy the results. So they may expect some kind of reciprocation. They may expect some kind of okay. Now I earn the salary, then it is my right to enjoy. I wanted to spend according to my own wish and will. That kind of attitude. Okay. So that is means the process of karma yoga is or not very easy, okay, in taking us back to Godhead. So now Dhruva Maharaj performed this wonderful uh, bhakti yoga, bhakti yoga process. He took up the bhakti yoga process and he attained the perfection. He saw the Lord's face to face and he's going back to Godhead. So now, if you see here, he was concerned about his mother. He was, so that is a symptom of a devotee. A devotee, like now, His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj says, so a devotee, devotees are not grateful. No, no, bhakti doesn't uh, give us how to be. Means gratitude is not gratitude will not come through bhakti. Bhakti is gratitude. Means being grateful for everything itself is bhakti. So that's why if you see, there is not they are non-different, bhakti and gratitude. So that's why we have to be grateful to everyone, every devotee, even a neophyte devotee, a person who does menial service, a person who cleans, a person who does arti, a person who instructs us, a person who gives prasadam. And we should think that they are performing such a great bhakti and we are taking advantage of their service. And we should be grateful to them. So that should be the right attitude. That's why Prabhupada always stresses on the point that always consider everyone as Prabhu and consider yourself as a servant. So everyone is a master, I'm their servant. So that should be the attitude when we are in the devotion circle. So then only we'll be able to progress nicely. From Mahaprabhu, that's why it stresses on the point, Trunadapi Sunishena, Tarorapi Saishana. Trunadapi Sunishena means we should think ourselves insignificant when compared to others. And if nobody respects us, we have to be patient. And some situations comes which are not favorable for us. Tarorapi Saishana, we have to be tolerant like a tree. So then only one can be able to chant the holy name of Krishna with wholeheartedly. Okay. So Prabhupada also highlights in his purport that how Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur he used to think that if I can send even one person back to Godhead, I consider my mission is successful. Because Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur he established more than 64 branches of Gaudiya Vaishnava mutts all over India. And the preaching was going on well in India. But his requirement is not in the quantity. His requirement is about quality. Means at least one person goes back to Godhead, he considers all his efforts are successful. So that's why we should never consider, okay, like for example, when we preach in the US, we don't get much public, no. Like if you see our videos, last time Gaurang Prabhu came, I was showing our temple YouTube channel. Why there are only two days, not even 3 digit view? He said, means like we're not promoting our social media thing properly like that. So, but if you see in India, they have like 150K, 200K, 250K, 500K views. Huh? 1 million, yeah, 1 million views also. So, like in general, I'm saying. So, but we, like time, place, circumstances, they have the numbers and we have what we have. So, But we should not be disheartened. Actually, that's why going deeper is more important than spreading like by numbers. So the disadvantage with social media is the people may listen and people may think that is good. That's a good thing, reaching and reaching out to so many people, touching so many lives is always good. But at the same time, there is a chance that the personal connection between the devotees might get weakened over a period of time. Because I think that why I have to go to class, I can just listen on YouTube or something like that. So that personal connection, like all the devotees coming together and discussing and having reciprocations and inquiring about their well-beings, and then taking prasam together, doing kirtan together, and personal connection with the spiritual master or the shiksha gurus, that might get little bit weakened. So that's why, like we also like try our best to promote and all those things. But going deeper means like, for example, even if you are cultivating one devotee, you are giving class to one devotee, helping him so much, and taking care of him so nicely that he becomes a great devotee. He advances. He becomes more and more serious in bhakti, and he goes back to Godhead. That should be our attitude. If one person becomes like that, then even Bhaktivedanta Thakur, such a great Acharya, is concerned. If one person goes back to Godhead, that our life is successful. And so, but here also we can have the same motto. But of course, we should always try to touch as many lives, as many persons as possible to take the Krishna conscious philosophy and Krishna conscious process seriously. But at the same time, our main motivation should be going deeper rather than uh, going in a wider way. So, because the bhakti process is like, it's a mercy process. Krishna says, "What you have and what you give." Krishna doesn't say what you give. Krishna says what you are holding back, how much efforts you are giving. Okay, so that's why we should try our best in all the aspects, and that will satisfy Krishna more and more. So, and Srila Prabhupada himself is saying, like, to see the humility of the acharyas. Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur said he had so many thousands of disciples by then, but he's saying even if one of my disciple goes back to whether my mission is successful. And Prabhupada goes one step further and says, uh, I'm crippled in many ways, but if one of my disciples become as strong as Dhruva Maharaj, he'll be able to carry me to Vaikuntha. So Prabhupada actually declaring that I depend on my disciples for me to go to Vaikuntha. So in other sense, actually how the process works is Guru comes and takes the disciples back to Godhead. Guru has a major role in delivering the disciple. So and we all depend on the mercy of the Guru. Yasya prasadat bhagavat prasad, yasya prasadat nagati kuto. We all depend on the mercy of Guru. But here Guru, the Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada himself is saying, I want my disciples to be as strong as Dhruva Maharaj so that they could be able to carry me to back to Vaikuntha, our spiritual world. So this shows their humility. But it is also what we can take is if we don't take the process of Krishna consciousness seriously, we become burdensome to the Guru. Because Guru, it is said that Guru will have to come back again and again for us to go back, for us to take us back to Godhead. Once they accept a disciple, they take the full responsibility of their deliverance. So it is said that if a disciple failed to go back to God at this lifetime, he may take another lifetime, and in that lifetime also he fails, then he may take another life. So, and every lifetime, when Guru has to intervene, Guru has to, Guru Tattva is one. Guru is not like on a physical level, okay? And Guru has to come personally to take him back to Godhead. But on the other hand, if we become so serious, if we become so strong and so committed and very, if we become more and more advanced in the Bhakti Yoga process and please Krishna and Guru more and more, then we will be helping the mission of Guru, not only like ourselves, and by reaching out to other people and other disciples also, they also get benefited. They also become serious, and they also will like now it's like right. There is one story. One time, one hunter he actually threw a net on the group of pigeons. No, no, actually he actually spread the net. He threw the grains and spread the net on the grains. And the group of pigeons came. They saw the grains and they landed in the grains, and they started eating the grains. And this hunter said, okay, these pigeons came. Now I can go and they are trapped now. Now I can go and get the pigeons. So as soon as they saw hunter coming, they started fly up and they found themselves that they are stuck in the mesh, that net. And every pigeon is this pigeon is pulling that side, this pigeon is pulling that side, like that. All the efforts of the pigeons are getting distributed. So then one elderly pigeon was there. I said, see, before they landing into the ground, this elderly pigeon wants, no, don't actually go because it is a forest. We can't expect grains in the forest. How can we expect grains in the forest? That too, so many grains. Hmm? So, but other pigeons, they don't listen to that elderly pigeon and they just landed in the net. So when they got trapped, this elderly pigeon comes and says, now you actually, all of us, to let us fly in one direction in synchronism, so that combined effort may lift this net up. So like that, all the pigeons in one direction they started flying, and they collectively lifted the entire net, and they started flying with the net. And then later on, they finally goes to somewhere where they had a mouse friend, which will cut the net. Okay, so like that, this metal existence, the burden of metal existence, if we all the devotees work towards the same goal of becoming more and more serious and more purified, then we help each other and we'll be able to go back to Godhead collectively, like, all the disciples, gurus, and everybody. So otherwise, if we don't work collectively, then we will be burdensome to the entire parampara, or guru, like guru and disciples, especially the guru. So it is said that even though the spiritual process alone, everybody should has to perfect their life by themselves. He said the saying that everyone should drive their own plane, but still one can act together. That's why the process of this age is Sankirtana, means doing the Kirtana along with other devotees. That is one of the meaning. Okay. So that's why during in the association, our bhakti become more and more refined. In the association, we develop more and more sensitivity, and we actually follow so many etiquettes. Because if we come to temple, if we are in the presence of other devotees, we develop certain kind of attitude. But we are at home, and where we ourselves are them, there nobody to see us, nobody to guide us. Then we execute bhakti in different manner. So that is the uh, positive side of that thing. Okay, where we can take advantage. Okay, so So practical lessons from this application of this verse is, first thing is gratitude. Now we should always be grateful whoever actually helped us even a bit to come closer to Krishna. They are like our Path Guru, our Shiksha Guru and Diksha Gurus. So we should be grateful for every one of them and every devotee because without the presence of devotee, the process become more and more difficult. And next takeaway point is responsibility. We should take we should take the responsibility of ourselves and the responsibility of the parampara also, responsibility of responsibility towards association also, association of devotees also. So, like that's why Prabhupada is saying, if we take responsibility and become more and more serious, it can uplift our family, our gurus, and society. A person who is actually become very serious, if you say, like Prabhupada gives the example of Prahlad Maharaj and Dhruv Maharaj. Prahlad Maharaj actually delivered his, no, because of Prahlad Maharaj, Hiranyakashipu was delivered. Because of Dhruv Maharaj, Suniti are automatically going back to Vaikuntha Loka. That's why Narsingadev says, right? If somebody becomes serious, 27 generations, 21 generations of his past and 21 generations of his future are gone. God will go back to Godhead. Like yesterday, Chanak was saying that Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur says, even if a neophyte devotee just started chanting, then that kind of person can deliver up to seven generations of. But Bhakti Prabhu Swami Maharaj took from Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur. Yeah, Bhakti Prabhu Swami Maharaj took from Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur, and that's okay. So means by performing bhakti, when we take the process of bhakti seriously, we actually helping not only ourselves but also our family members also. Everybody connected to that person will go back to Godhead, at least attain liberation if they are not devotees. Okay, so that's why bhakti is a collective process. So in a family, if like now, if more and more persons become serious in bhakti, then there is a chance for everybody going back to Godhead is there is a good chance. But on the other hand, if some people become serious, another person is very like a dead weight. So because they may go back to God at this, but this person may attain liberation, impersonal liberation. Okay. So and the third one is hope. Even if we feel weak, if we stay connected to the sincere devotee, then their mercy will carry us. Okay. So that's why Prabhupada says, never leave ISKCON. Because you may be able to finding some difficulty, but if you are in the association, if you are in the boat, then you may automatically get delivered. Because when you're in the ISKCON, by knowingly unknowingly we do some service and we become dear to some devotee. And by that just one thing, we may attain perfection. So if you please one devotee and become dear to one devotee, then it may lead to ultimate success of our life. And finally, the mission spirit. Don't underestimate the value of touching even one life deeply. Helping even if one soul return to Krishna consciousness is a great success. That should be our mission. Even whomever we are preaching, whomever we are dealing with, now, even if not outsiders, even if our own family members. mm, So if we actually sincerely guide them, help them, and serve them, and if that person become a very sincere devotee, that will lead to the ultimate perfection. He will go back to Godhead, and by serving him, by helping him, if we become dear to that devotee, and especially if we become dear to our Guru and Shiksha Guru, Diksha Guru, and authorities, then we will also automatically attain the perfection. So those are the important points that I can think of. So, and we should also think that we should be very grateful to everyone, especially just the way Dhruv Maharaj was grateful to Suniti, because of her only he was able to go back to Godhead now. Dhruv Maharaj's most prominent spiritual personalities in his life are Suniti and Narada Muni. In the previous words, Prabhupada also writes, you don't have to worry about Narada Muni because he is already a Vaikuntha man. So, but he is worrying about only Suniti. So, like that, we have to be thoughtful about everyone connected to us, who actually not only like you know, gurus and all, but also our family members who helps us in getting connected, uh, our friends and other or other devotees who actually motivates us in our process of devotion service. So, and we should contemplate and what steps we have to take to strengthen our devotion more and more, okay, and help other devotees more and more to become closer to Krishna. Okay. So that's what I can think of. If anybody have any questions or comments, can discuss, or if you would like to add anything. Okay, we'll end it here. Online, anybody have any questions or comments? इंडियन ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय, श्री प्रभुपाद की जय, अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय।